I believe that entrepreneurs are a spark for change for many reasons. I spent a part of my life, I spent about a year of my life working in the slums of Calcutta. And I visited various slums across the country, one of which was called Dharavi in Bombay. And what I saw in Dharavi was twofold. On the one hand, I saw people living in really terrible conditions. But on the other hand, I saw what I call slumpreneurs. I saw the most amazing creativity that came out of there. I saw how technology really evens the playing ground and enables people to start their own businesses and do very unique things. And I saw a lot of small businesses that were servicing that community, and as a result, were bringing clean drinking water, electricity, television, mobile technology into a community that otherwise would not have access to any of this. And what I saw from that is here we are seeing that half the world is living under $2 a day. And what entrepreneurship is doing in these communities is that they're providing an opportunity for people to get out of poverty and live on $200 a day. And I think that it's really setting up if governments and NGOs and private sector and media and academia can come together to really study and analyze and demonstrate how we can bring these people out of poverty through entrepreneurship, I think that it would solve a lot of the world's issues. What inspires me to work with the UN is that the UN, to me, represents the social values of humanity. And the UN, to me, is actually trying to fight to solve the world's greatest problems. And the UN is the only institution in the world that has a presence in 192 countries. And so to me, that means that there's a huge opportunity to look at big social problems and come in and try to work together to see, how do we make the world a better place? And how do we just improve the state of the world? The global issues that keep me up at night, the one that's most important to me right now is the problem with youth unemployment around the world. I think it is dire, and I think it's front and center, and I think that people aren't listening. I think people are recognizing that it's a problem, and they're talking about the fact that it's a problem, but the world is not waking up and trying to find key solutions. And to find key solutions to youth unemployment requires the government, the private sector, NGOs, academic institutions, and the media to come together and, together commit that we will find a way to provide employment for people who have gone through, who just aren't able to find employment. We're going to have a generation of joblessness, and that is going to create a whole slate of new issues and social issues that the world just hasn't seen yet. Because the psychological impact of an individual who wants to work and needs to work and wants to provide for their family and they can't, that is when bad things happen. That is when they get influenced and they get out of necessity, go into doing things that can hurt the world. Well, the first thing how I would advise the UN to tackle the problem of youth unemployment, the very first thing I would advise the UN to do is to start talking to the youth. Not just through a survey, not just through intermediary groups, but I would invite the youth to come to the UN and be a serious part of a committee, a council, a working group that are working together to solve the problem. Because if we don't listen to their voice and we don't understand what they're feeling and how they want things to change, we can't create the policies that will bring about that change. And I do believe that the UN is making a big effort in terms of trying to hear this voice, but I think that that effort needs to be stepped up just a little bit more so that the youth are actually part of the working groups that are directly trying to create the policies to solve the problems.